Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Kit, and in today's tutorial I will be showing you how to crochet this lovely red scarf. Now I'm calling this scarf the Rossa Amore scarf, and it is quite lovely. It's soft and it's very beautiful. As you can see, I put tassels on the end of my scarf, so if you don't want to do tassels, you can do pom-poms. The choice is up to you, but this scarf measures 66 inches long. So from one tip minus the tassel all the way around to the other tip minus this tassel, it is about 66 inches long, and it is 5.5 inches wide. So I'll go over the materials with you, and then we can get started on this very lovely scarf. Now you don't have to use this color for the scarf. You can choose any color that you like in any 4-weight yarn, but I will show you the materials I used because I really love the yarn. So for the scarf, I used Red Heart Amore, and this yarn is very soft and it's quite lovely. This one is 100 gram, and it has 198 yards. It is a medium 4-weight. It is 100% polyester, and the color is Busan Rouge. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But if you don't have this yarn, I will show you a couple of the other options that you have if you want to use a yarn similar to this. So I also have this Yarn Bee Breathe Deep in the color black. This is one that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. So this one is also a 100% polyester medium 4-weight. And this one is almost the exact same yarn as the Red Heart Amore, and it is very soft, and this one has 216 yards. So this is yarn that's very similar to that. So if you can find this one at Hobby Lobby, then I would recommend to use this one. Like I said, if you don't like the way this feels or you don't have this yarn, then you can use any medium 4-weight yarn that you like. And then I have one more option. Lion Brand Feels Like Butter, and it's very soft as well. And this one is the bundle pack, so it has way more yardage. There's 590 yards in this one, and this one is also 100% polyester. So I think these 3 yarns are very similar to each other. So you are more than welcome to use any yarn that you like in any color that you like. So the choice is up to you. But for today's tutorial, I will be using the Red Heart Amore in this red color. For the tassels, I use this yarn right here, and it is called Lamia Linen Cotton. There's 132 yards, and this is a 50-gram ball, and this is a lightweight 3. There's 70% cotton and 30% linen. So I use this to make the tassel. Now you can use acrylic yarn to make the tassel, or any other yarns that you'd like to make the tassel, or you can even put a pom-pom. Like I said, the choice is up to you, but this is how I made my scarf. You also need your crochet hook, and I used a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. You also need your darning needle to weave in any ends. You will need a stitch marker or a couple of stitch markers, or a row counter, and then a pair of scissors. So let's go ahead and gather our materials and let's get started. I am using the Red Heart Amore yarn, and I've already made my slip knot. So go ahead and make your slip knot and insert your crochet hook. After you do that, you want to go ahead and chain 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I won't do it all on camera, so go ahead and chain 25 and meet me right back here. All right, so I have my chain of 25 and you should as well. So go ahead and grab your chain and your crochet hook, turn your work, and let's get started with row number 1. So what you want to do is yarn over, and into the 4th chain from the hook you want to make a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, make 1 double crochet. Now the 3 chains right here counts as a double crochet, so you should have 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So you want to yarn over again, and you want to skip 2 chains. So skip, skip, and into the 3rd you want to make 1 double crochet, and into the same chain you want to make another double crochet, chain 1, and right into that same chain you want to make 2 more double crochets. So I'm calling this a shell, and in that shell you want to have 2 double crochets, a chain 1, and then 2 double crochets. So after your shell you want to skip 2 chains, so skip, skip, and into the 3rd chain you want to make a double crochet, and into the very next chain you want to make a double crochet. So here's our little pattern repeat. So let's go ahead from the beginning. You have 2 double crochets, 2 double crochets right here. You have skip 2 chains, so skip, skip, and into the 3rd chain there should be 2 double crochets, a chain 1, and 2 double crochets. Skip 2 chains, skip, skip, and then 1 double crochet into the next chain, and then another double crochet into the next chain. So let's go ahead and continue. So next we are going to skip 2 chains, so skip, skip, and then into the 3rd you want to make your little shell. So 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, then you want to chain 1 and then make 2 more double crochets right into that same chain. And then you're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and then into the 3rd chain make a double crochet, and then into the very next chain you want to make another double crochet, and then you're going to skip 2 stitches or 2 chains, 1, 2, and then into the 3rd you want to make your shell. So that consists of 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. Okay, so we're coming near the end. You should have 4 chains left. This one's a little small. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into the very last 2 chains you want to put in a double crochet into each of the chains. So 1 and 2. And now your row 1 is complete. So let's go ahead and take a look at what your work should look like. So let me stretch that out for you. So this is what your work should look like. So here again, so 2 double crochets, skip 2, the shell, skip 2, 2 double crochets, skip 2 chains, the shell, skip 2, 2 double crochets, skip 2, the shell, skip 2 chains, and then 2 double crochets to complete this row. So that's what it should look like. So this is a 1 row repeat. So let me go ahead and do a couple more rows with you, and then I will let you know how many rows you need. So after this row you want to chain 1 and turn and start row number 2. So row number 2, in this first stitch right there, you see that little stitch, you want to make a double crochet right into the very first stitch, and then in the very next stitch, which is a double crochet, you want to go ahead and put 1 double crochet right on top of that. So now we're going to move over to the shell. In the chain 1 space, you want to make another shell. So you want to do 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets right into that chain 1 space. And then you want to skip over to your 2 double crochets right here, and then you're going to put 1 double crochet on top of each of the double crochets. And then you're going to move over to the shell and into the chain 1 space right here. You want to make another shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets right into that chain 1 space. Okay, and then now you want to go over to your 2 double crochets and put a double crochet on top of each of the double crochets. So 1 and 2. And this is what your work should look like so far. So let's go ahead and stop right there. Let me remove that. So here is what it should look like so far. So basically you're just putting a double crochet on top of the double crochets, and then into the shell you're going to put another shell right into that chain 1 space. And it's a very easy pattern. It's a 1 row repeat. It's beginner friendly, and anyone can make the scarf. So let's go ahead and finish this row. So now we're coming up to a shell. So in that chain 1 space, you want to make another shell. So yarn over, do 2 double crochets, let me redo that one. So there's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then 2 more double crochets. So we're towards the end of row number 2, and then now we have 2 double crochets left. So we have a double crochet and then the chain space, the chain 3. So what you want to do is double crochet on top of the double crochet, and right in the chain 3 you want to put a double crochet on top of the chain 3. Just like that. And then you're going to chain 1 and turn. So let me go ahead and do 1 more row with you guys, and then I will let you know how many rows to do to complete this section of the scarf. So after you chain 1 and turn, you want to repeat row number 2. So chain 1 and turn, and right into the very first stitch you're going to do 1 double crochet, and then another double crochet into the next double crochet. And now you're going to skip over and find the chain 1 space right there, and then make your little shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets right into the chain 1 space of that shell. And then go ahead, move over to your next 2 double crochets and put 1 double crochet on top of each of those double crochets. All right, let me gather some more yarn. Okay, so now we're at the shell portion. So let's go ahead and find the chain 1 space right there, and then do another little shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. Oops, let me do that one again. So skip over and find your 2 double crochets and put a double crochet in each. 1 and 2. Skip over to your shell, find the chain space and make another shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. Now we're nearing towards the end of row 3, and then you should have 2 double crochets there. So go ahead and put a double crochet on top of each of the double crochets. This one might be a little tricky. There you have it. You have 3 rows complete, and it took no time at all. So what you want to do is keep repeating row number 2 until you have 56 rows. And I always put a stitch marker on every 10th row so that way I can keep track so you don't have to keep counting from the beginning. So go ahead and crochet 56 rows. And once you have that complete, meet me right back here. So for my sample piece, I only crocheted 7 rows. Now I want to go ahead and show you how to make this lacy portion towards the bottom of your scarf. Now your 56 rows is only half of the scarf. I will show you how to do the other half in a moment, but let me show you how to do this lacy part so you can finish up this first half of the scarf. So let's go ahead and grab your scarf. You should finish off on the 56th row, and let's go ahead and insert your crochet hook and turn your work. So after you turn your work, you want to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you want to skip over the double crochets and find the chain 1 space in the shell, and you want to make 1 slip stitch. After you make your slip stitch, go ahead and chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then you want to skip over the double crochets right there and find your chain 1 space in the shell, and then you want to make 1 slip stitch. And then chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Skip over the 2 double crochets, and in the space, chain space of the shell, you want to make a slip stitch. Then chain 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then on the top of, oops, lost my stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then on top of the double crochet, the very last double crochet, you want to just make a slip stitch. So this is what your work should look like right now. So after you finish the slip stitch, you want to turn your work, and then right along the top of these, the chain 7, you want to make a slip stitch into 4 of the chains. So 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th one, you go ahead and make a slip stitch, and then you're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You're going to skip over to the next set of chains right here, and into the 4th chain right on top, you want to make a slip stitch. And then chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip over to the next set of chains right here, and then on the 4th chain on the top, you want to make a slip stitch. Chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And find your next chain 7, and then the 4th chain on the top, you want to make a slip stitch. So this is what it should look like so far. So now you want to turn your work, and then we're going to do 4 more slip stitches on top of 4 of the chains. So tighten up your yarn. So the first one's a little tricky. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And after you get your 4th slip stitch in, you want to go ahead and chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then find your next chain of 7, and on top of the 4th one you want to make a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, make a slip stitch, and then chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then find your next chain 7, and on the 4th chain go ahead and make a slip stitch. So that's what it should look like. And then now you want to go ahead and turn your work, and we have one more to do. So you want to slip stitch into 4 of the chains. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then chain 7 one last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then right on top of the very next set of chain 7s you want to put a slip stitch on the 4th chain, or into the 4th chain, and there you have it. So let me show you what it looks like before let me pull through and snip the yarn, and then we'll show you what it looks like. So pull through, tighten that, and this is what it should look like so far. So here on top, or on the bottom, if you flip it this way, is where you're going to put your tassel. So here I have it. You might have to stretch it out a little bit so it doesn't look so wonky, but you can weave in this tail down to the point and then add your tassel. That's what it should look like. So this is only half of the scarf. Now we're going to attach our yarn right here and do 56 more rows of this shell and double crochet pattern, and then you're going to do at the end, after your 56 rows, some more of this lace work here, and then add 2 tassels, weave in your ends, and your scarf is complete. So let's go ahead and attach your yarn to the corner where your tail is, so that way you can weave in your tail as you crochet 56 more rows. So I will show you the scarf that I've made where it has the middle portion here, so you can kind of see. So right here, can you see? This is where I started my scarf. So I crocheted up to finish 56 rows all the way down to the lace part with the tassel. And after I finished my lace portion, I connected my yarn, and then I crocheted the other way. So as you can see, the shells are facing up, and then the other section of the scarf, the shells are facing down. So this is the middle part of the scarf. And then towards the other end, again, when I completed my 56 rows, I added the lace work right there and then added the tassel. So let's go ahead and start on the second half of the scarf. So let's go ahead and find your end with the tail, and then you want to go ahead and insert your hook right on top of that double crochet right here, and I hold my tail down so I can weave in the end as I go. So go ahead and loop your yarn through, and what I'm going to do is grab both strands, the tail end and from the yarn from the working yarn, and then I'm just gonna pull through and then just make a single crochet with both strands, and then I am going to make a double crochet right into that same stitch, and that's just gonna help weave in any ends. And then you can drop that one and then make another double crochet into the next double crochet, And then you're going to skip over to the shell, and there's a space right there where you did your shell. You want to make another shell. So you're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. And then you can go ahead and weave in this tail later once your scarf is complete. And then you're going to skip over to the next 2 double crochets and make a double crochet on top of each. Then skip over to your shell and then make another shell in that space. Skip over to the double crochets and put 1 double crochet on top of each. And then skip over to your shell, find the space and make your shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. So we're nearing the end of this row. And then after you complete this row, you want to do this 55 more times. So there we have it. We're at the end of that row. So now what you want to do is come do this row, repeat this row 56 more times to make the other half of the scarf. Once you have 56 rows, then you want to go ahead and do your lace work and make your tassel, and go ahead and attach the tassel or your pom-pom to the end of the scarf. So once you have that complete, you will have this finished project. So the scarf is very lovely. It's very soft, and it would make a perfect Christmas present for someone. And it turned out quite nice, and I hope you guys enjoyed the pattern. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And I also want to mention that I don't have a written pattern for this. So if you want to make this scarf, you'll have to follow this tutorial. But again, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the pattern. I will see you all in the next video. So have a great day. Bye.